Hey there, makeup do's and don'ts. I'll share the most common mistakes and how to fix them. This is our favorite part, before and after. I love this elegant makeup and I hope you will too. Let's begin. Many people skip the skin prep step. We won't, especially if we are using a matte foundation. Moisturizer always comes first. I'm going to apply the Summer Fridays mask. You can even use it as an eye cream. It literally says on the packaging. I'll apply it only to the one side of the face to show you the huge difference in how foundation sets with moisturizer versus without it. Also, one of my eyes is slightly smaller, so I'll do a massage for my hooded eye. It always makes the eye look more open. Never do it without a cream or serum. I've shown you this many times, and I love this technique. Next, I'm using the most famous foundation in the world, Double Wear Matte Foundation. The first number indicates whether your skin tone is light, medium, or dark. The letter stands for neutral, W for warm, and C for cool undertone. And the last number shows the intensity of that undertone. Okay, let's begin. Don't turn the bottle like this as I'm showing. Don't touch the skin with a jar directly. It's incredibly unhygienic. You also end up using way too much product and losing control. Don't use a dirty, very old beauty blender with the nail marks like this one. It's unhygienic as well. Bacteria from blemishes live there forever because of oil, leftover foundation, and constant moisture. Just throw it away. Don't apply foundation with a dry sponge. It pulls on the skin, gives uneven coverage, and creates patchiness, especially around the pores. From a distance, it might look not that bad, but up closer, look at this. Also, don't stretch the skin. Foundation is all about the solid basic routine. Instead, shake the bottle first. Liquid matte foundations separate. And if you don't mix them properly, they won't look the way they did when you tested them in the store. Apply the foundation to the back of your hand. The warmth helps the product becomes easier to apply, more flexible, and blend more naturally into the skin. Use a synthetic brush. If the bristles start sticking together, keep bouncing the brush evenly. Then dab it back onto your hand to redistribute the product. I always start from the jawline and move upward toward the cheek in a rows, like a snake game, using dab motions. Actually, it doesn't matter, is it matte or glowy foundation, I always do that. And press with the same pressure every time. After the first layer, you'll know whether to add more or stop and only maybe build coverage in the specific areas. I go in with the second layer. Around the sides of the nose, I use small swirling motions to really polish the pore area. Then move to the forehead and apply it over the eyelids as well. It works perfectly as an eye primer because of the matte finish of this foundation. Also, spread the leftovers onto the ears and down the neck. That way, if you get a compliment today, your ears won't suddenly be red. Now it's perfect. Look at the glow. Even with a matte, high-coverage foundation, you still get this finish. If you are a very expressive, emotional person, go over the face with a clean, damp sponge to absorb excess product, especially around the smile lines, the eye area, and the forehead. Beautiful. Look at that. If you have oily lids and everything creases no matter what you apply, even if you bought exactly the eye primer I recommended, watch this. Remove everything from the lids. Eye cream, mask, concealer, foundation, skin oil, all of it. And use a cotton pad with micellar water. Apply eye primer in a very small amount. Really small. I mean it. Put it on the back of your hand first. Warm it up with your fingertip and only then apply it to the lid. From the inner corner to the outer corner and slightly into the crease. And apply under the eye as well. Anywhere you plan to apply makeup products that might transfer. I love doing hollow triangles under the eyes. It keeps the area clean and bright, like using a very light powder or concealer. And the cheekbone instantly look more lifted. Look at the difference. Don't apply an eye primer in a thin line only along the lash line. And don't use too much product. No matter what, it will crease. Too many layers won't dry properly, right? Now, blush. First of all, make sure the foundation has set. It should feel smooth, not wet, and non-sticky. You can feel that on the skin. If the base is still wet, powder blushes won't adhere properly. Choose a brush with the right size for your cheeks. Don't go too small or too big. I usually stick to medium size. Sometimes I use a smaller brush for more precise placement. And remember, big blending areas need a big brush, and honestly, it's just faster. Pick up the blush and then tap the brush into the cap or onto the back of your hand to distribute the pigment evenly. Turn your head, turn your hand, and the handle should point toward the ear if you want a lifting effect. And if you have an elongated face, go more horizontally, parallel to the floor, to visually shorten the face. And always, without exception, go over the blush placement with your foundation brush using the leftover product. This melts the blush into the skin, makes it look like a natural flush, and softens the color if you went too far. Rule number 1. Blush is not only for the cheeks. Add it to the forehead, to the nose, and the outer corners of the eyes. This is a basic placement that suits everyone, because it's natural. Don't swirl the blush aggressively with a brush. Don't blow on it, it's unhygienic. Don't smile too much while applying blush. When you relax your face, the placement will drop lower. If you want a lifting effect, keep your facial muscles relaxed. Don't apply blush with a heavy pressure. And don't focus only on the apples of the cheeks and in the center of the face, especially if you have rosacea or blemishes in that area. And don't panic. When you panic, you start blending chaotically with your way too much pressure. And please forget about fixing blushes with your hands, fingers, or micellar water. It will give you uneven coverage and just bare spots of the skin. Now compare both sides. Huge difference. Same face, same product, same natural light, just a different technique. Bronzer and highlighter. We've hit that silver pen together. I still can't believe it. Let's do highlighter first, but the order doesn't matter. You can start with the bronzer as well. So I switch to a small brush, turn your face toward the light, toward the window, and you will see that reflection. I have this specific curve here. Yours might go in a slightly different direction depending on your face shape and bone structure. I don't go too close to the nose. I have pores here and highlighter will emphasize them. Stop right before that area. As a guideline, think of the perpendicular line from the outer corner of the eye. And watch my polishing motions. I go side to side many times. I don't pick up more product. This is just one pickup, and look at the shine. Just gorgeous. I like adding a little to the nose and between the brows. That's my personal preferences, so skip it if it's not your thing. Add a touch to the inner corners of the eyes. Look how much fresher and more open the eyes look. And then a bit to the cupid's bow to define it. Also, apply highlighter over the lip liner area if you have fine lines. This helps avoid white gaps after a lip liner application. Don't swirl the brush aggressively in the highlighter and don't tap it off. Otherwise, everything ends up as dust. On the table, the floor, your jacket. The idea is to load the product inside the brush, not lose it everywhere. If you apply highlighter directly on the apple of the cheek, you will get a fuller cheek effect. That can work if you have a slim face and no visible pores here. And don't pull it in a straight line toward the hairline. That goes against your natural anatomy. Now bronzer. I take a bigger brush, the same one we used for blush. That's totally fine. I pick up the product and find the correct placement. The easiest way is to locate the line where your teeth meet. And that's where the natural halo and shadow sit. Make sure you don't go lower than that line. Hold the brush correctly. This applies to the jawline as well. And if you apply bronzer too low, you drag the face down. In nature, a very tiny, sharp jawline like that almost doesn't exist. It's very rare. I don't start swiping from the center of the face toward the hairline. The first touch is always closer to the hairline, but not too close. That follows to the natural light and the shadow pattern on the face. If you blend more toward the nose, the cheek looks more feminine. If you pull it downward toward the jawline, it looks more masculine. Connect the cheek bronzer with the jawline for a cohesive effect. Last step, forehead and temple area. I naturally have a shadow here, so I enhance it slightly. And if you don't have this shadow, just skip it. Now let's imitate a common mistake. You pick up the product correctly, tap it lightly, and then you do this. Ring a bell? Yes, I know, I do it sometimes too, and it's a bad habit. Let me explain why. Look at the result. The application is uneven because the pressure on the brush changes as you move, and your bone structure isn't flat the whole way through. See this gap right in the middle? So strange. And when you relax your face, you'll notice how low the bronzer actually sits. The same thing happens on the forehead. Too much pressure with a big brush covers much larger area than intended. The working surface of this brush is long. Don't cover half of the forehead, especially if you don't have an elongated forehead. If your forehead is short, you definitely don't want to make it look even shorter, right? So now look at the difference. Wow. Now it's time for lips and how the wrong color can instantly make you look older. Let's start with dews. Choose a brown base shade to sculpt the lips. The pencil can easily go over the edge if you press too hard. And this is exactly where we do apply more pressure, the lower lip. Press the pencil in and slowly turn your head in the opposite direction. One more time. Press into the corner of the lips and turn your head to the side. Fill in the corners. They shouldn't be separated. Connect them. Blend the borders inward to create a soft gradient. And then take a small angled brush, I use an eyebrow one, and clean the edges with the same foundation. You're basically cutting the new lip shape for a more lifted, clean result. On the other side, I'm using a rosy lip liner, and yes, it's very, very sharp. But don't sharpen it so hard. You'll see why in a second. And don't apply it in one strong stroke. Don't make it too thick or apply too much product. It will bleed. That moment. A very sharp pencil breaks easily, can transfer everywhere, and yes, it can even stain your jacket. Also, make sure the corners of the lips are covered with a liner and always blend. This isn't a creative cover campaign, right? Apply lip products using tapping motions for a longer wear. Don't swipe side to side. That melts the lip liner and everything mixes together. And always choose a shade that complements your blush. Now eyebrows. Apply pencil only to the bare areas. Fill in the gaps, start from the tail, and create that angle. Analyze your shape. I have a larger distance between my lash line and eyebrows, so I can extend that area and make it slightly wider. If you have a large forehead, you can extend the brows upward from the top line to make forehead shorter. Then brush the brows with a gel at about 45-degree angle to open up the eyes. And don't apply brow gel before using pencil. If the surface is still wet, it will be a mess. The pencil will glide and stick to the hairlines and look patchy. Don't make the brows too thick, especially with the hooded eyes, it makes the look heavier. And don't clean brows with a thick layer of foundation like this. It sticks to the tiny facial hairs around the brows and becomes very visible. Avoid brows that are too wide at the front and too thin at their tail. And look at this, where is the angle? The tail goes too far down, the brow tip is too long, and the proportions are off. If you hold the brush parallel to the floor and the tail drops lower than the front of the brow, that shape only works for upturned eye shape. Use waterproof formulas. Look straight ahead, relax your eyebrow muscles, turn your head slightly, keep looking into the mirror, and then bring your head back and gently lift the upper lid to expose the waterline. Fix the eye by pressing lightly, then apply using small dots or maybe short strokes, as it's more comfortable for you. And use firm pressure, not light, tickling touch-ups. Turn your head to the other side and do the same. If your eyes start watering, gently press with the fingertip between the eyebrows, closer to the nose. Try not to squeeze your eyes shut, and the tear film will dry faster, and you won't get transferred to the lower waterline or that crying eye effect. Don't apply a black pencil without stabilizing the eye. Don't go straight toward the pupil. Your natural reflex will be to shut your eye tightly because of the object coming closer. And don't apply pencil directly onto the waterline without blending. It almost always makes the eye look smaller. Be patient, be precise, don't do chaotic movements. It looks bad, uneven, transferred, stamped, very grungy and messy. Yes, it's a trend, but it's not flattering on most eyes. Don't stretch the skin at the temple. Raise your brows, open the mouth, draw one long line, and expect a lightweight eyeliner. Look at this. On hooded eyes, the lid looks heavier, the hood drops lower, and a black line along the upper lash line instantly makes the eye just look smaller. Then you start fixing it with the concealer and micellar water. It still doesn't work, and you just waste time. It looks messy and dirty. Instead, take a brown or burgundy shade. It's much softer. Look straight ahead, gently hold the skin at the temple, don't stretch, just hold, and stamp small dots toward the outer corner, right where the upper and lower lids meet. Create a soft line using short strokes. Now take a sharp angled brush and gently melt the pencil into the skin from both sides. Don't rush, be precise, hold your breath if you need it. Just follow the natural rhythm. Add more pencil gradually if you need more intensity. I recommend not drawing a thick line right along the lash line. Don't close that space. That area can already be visually closed by extra skin here. And if you like it, you can add a subtle in the corner angle at the end. What else? Eyeshadow palette must be basic, matte colors only, light beige, light brown, dark brown, and gray. Next, grab a blending brush. Hold it perpendicular and pick up the mid-brown shade to sculpt the eyes. Look straight ahead, find the hooded part, and place the brush perpendicular to the skin, right between the bone and the apple of the eye. Go side to side, then move from the beginning of the eyebrow to the side of the nose to sculpt the nose and make the eyes look bigger. This tip is underrated, but trust me, we are subtly reshaping the inner corner of the eye, creating more contrast and depth. Perfect if you have a wider nose tip. Back to the eyes. Blend parallel to the brow tip and extend toward the temples. This is a big part of blending. Then focus on the lower part of the eye. Use the same shades sweeping side to side to make the eyes look even larger. And look at that. Wow, such a big eye now. And I choose the smaller eye for this demonstration because some of you mentioned that one of my eyes is bigger. That's why I showed this technique specifically for the smaller eye, just to compare both of them. Take a pencil brush again and pick up the dark gray shade. Tap it on the back of your hand to prevent fallout and tap gently onto the outer corner of the eye, creating a V shape and blend it carefully. Use a small, fluffy synthetic brush to clean any leftover gray shadow underneath the eye. I actually can skip concealer replacement here. I can use just matte foundation. Don't start with a dark shade and go to the light with the same brush. Never use a dirty brush with leftover cream products. Don't go over the creases if you have eye primer, concealer, or foundation here. It will set and you can even out later. Don't press too hard. Dark eyeshadow will stick unevenly. Don't use a big brush on small areas like the lower lash line, or you'll end up messy. Never apply shadow onto the clean light shade with a dirty brush. It creates mess. And don't apply light shade under the brow. It will make this area too prominent, especially if you have hooded eyes as I do, or maybe deep set eyes. Avoid dragging dark brown to the lash line with hard swipes. You'll see a mess near the nose. Mascara. Don't pump in and out multiple times. It introduces air and dries out the product faster. Don't swipe side to side. It creates spider lashes, clumping, and lower lashes prints on the skin. First of all, curl the lashes to open up the eyes. This lifts the space and reduces the shadow created by downward lashes. Press the curler 5 times for a strong lift. Immediately follow the mascara to set the result. I use a curved wand to lift the lashes from the roots as much as possible. Press at the root and then gently blink into the wand for even coverage. And that's it. Look at the difference. Huge, right? I did all the mistakes way too much just to show common mistakes a little bit more clear and visual. Comment below which step was your favorite and helpful, or which mistake you often make. As always, all the products I use are linked in the description, and I've also added a link to the Shop My app. All the products from my videos are collected in one place, so you can install the app and easily find all my recommendations from my YouTube videos. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, a little patience and the right technique make a massive difference. Stay tuned for more makeup tips. Thank you so much. See you soon. Bye.